You've had moments, haven't you? Moments where you should have broken, but didn't. When everything around you was falling apart, and somehow you felt a calm that didn't make sense. Not from a friend, not from logic, but from something deeper, something divine. If you've ever felt like something unseen stepped in just in time, a sign, a shift, a whisper that brought you peace when fear was circling, drop a comment below and say, "Thank you, Archangel Michael." Because you're not imagining it. You're not alone. And today, you'll learn the real signs that Michael is near, guiding you, shielding you, and helping you finally break through what's been holding you back. What it feels like when Archangel Michael steps in. Divine protection doesn't always arrive like a dramatic rescue. It doesn't always come with thunder in the sky or angel wings brushing your shoulder. Most of the time, it feels like nothing. Just a breath of calm, a moment of stillness, an unexpected sense of peace right in the middle of chaos. And you only realize what really happened after. When you look back and whisper to yourself, "Wait, something shifted. I didn't do that alone." That moment, that's Archangel Michael. Not showing up to impress you, but showing up to protect you. The wait before the whisper. You know that feeling, don't you? When you're mentally spiraling, but still showing up. Smiling at others while silently drowning. Doing everything right, but wondering why your spirit feels worn so thin. You might not even call it a crisis. You're functioning, handling things, keeping it together. But inside, you're exhausted. A real story, the car ride you can't explain. There was a woman, early 40s, mother of two, caretaker for her aging father, full-time worker, part-time hope holder. She had spent the entire day holding space for others. At work, she smoothed over a tense conversation between two co-workers. At home, her youngest was struggling with school, and her father had just gotten a new medication that left him confused and angry. She made dinner, did laundry, checked emails. No one thanked her. No one noticed she hadn't eaten. She noticed, but told herself it was fine. "Tomorrow," she whispered. "I'll rest tomorrow." That night, she had to run a quick errand. One more thing before finally collapsing into bed. As she got in the car, her heart was racing, but not from anxiety, from sheer fatigue. You know that kind of tired where your body is moving, but your soul is almost gone quiet? That was her. Her mind was looping. "I can't keep doing this. Why does everything feel so hard? What if I just don't go back tonight? Not in a dangerous way, but in that deep, achy, invisible, burdened way." As she turned onto a dark road just outside her neighborhood, she gripped the wheel tighter. The road was empty, no cars, no light, just her and her swirling thoughts. Then, just as her foot began to press the accelerator, a sensation surged through her chest like a force pressing gently but firmly against her. She heard nothing aloud, but in her mind, clear as crystal, a whisper echoed, "Stop." Not frantic, not panicked, just authoritative. She eased her foot off the pedal. Just as she did, a deer darted across the road, right where her headlights had been aimed. There was no time to react, no time to brake. Had she moved even a second earlier, she would have hit it, or worse, swerved, crashed, gotten hurt. She pulled over to the side, heart pounding, but not from fear, from something else. Recognition. Something in her knew. That wasn't just luck, that wasn't just instinct. That was something holy. The whisper you didn't earn, but were given. That moment didn't come because she did everything right. It didn't come because she was more spiritual than anyone else. It came because Archangel Michael shows up for the exhausted, for the burned out, for the quiet warriors who pour themselves out and keep going. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He only needs you to be willing to receive. What divine protection actually looks like. You were drowning in fear, stuck in indecision, maybe even surrounded by people or situations that drained the life out of you. And then suddenly, the anxiety softened. The wrong door closed. The toxic voice got quieter. The gut feeling said, "Don't go." You felt safe, just for a moment. Your shoulders dropped, your breath deepened. Your soul remembered, "I'm not alone." That wasn't random. That wasn't coincidence. That was Michael. Not in blinding light, not with crashing thunder, but in protection disguised as a pause. He stepped between you and what was never meant to touch you. He cut through the unseen cords draining your spirit. He whispered strength into your silence. And even now, as you remember moments like this, you can feel it again. He's been here. He's still here. and he's not going anywhere. Why you haven't felt protected lately, and what's really going on. It's a quiet question that lives in the back of your mind. Why don't I feel that protection all the time? Where was it when I really needed it? What if the signs were never real to begin with? If you've ever felt that, you're not broken, you're not spiritually disconnected, and you haven't done anything wrong. You're simply navigating what happens to so many open-hearted souls. You've picked up energy that was never yours to carry, and it's made it harder to feel what's always been around you. The invisible blocks you didn't realize were building. Every moment you doubted your worth, every time someone took from you but didn't pour back in, every time you felt guilt for putting yourself first. Those moments left a mark, not always visible, but vibrational. It builds slowly. You wake up already tired even though you slept. You try to pray, but your mind can't quiet down. You want to feel connected, but everything just feels numb. You crave clarity, but only confusion seems to show up. This isn't spiritual failure. It's spiritual interference. And for someone like you, someone open, giving, intuitive, it's even easier to absorb the noise of the world without realizing how much it clogs your inner guidance system. The cycle of emotional fatigue that blocks divine protection. Let's say you've been pouring into everyone else. You're the one people come to for help. You offer the extra shift, the late-night phone call, the gentle words. But after months, sometimes years of giving without boundaries, something happens. You go quiet, you feel invisible, and the signs you used to see just stop showing up. It doesn't mean Michael left. It means your receptive field, your spiritual antenna, got overrun by too many outside signals. You can't hear whispers through static. You can't sense peace when your nervous system is wired for survival. Michael's voice isn't gone. It's just waiting behind the noise. Story: the woman who couldn't hear anymore. One woman had been deeply spiritual her whole life. She journaled, meditated, talked to her angels daily. But over time, life got louder. She lost someone she loved. She took on more at work. She stopped having time for morning rituals and went straight into caretaking mode. The signs didn't stop, but she couldn't feel them anymore. She said, "I used to feel his presence in the car, in the kitchen, even folding laundry. Now, nothing." But the truth was, he hadn't gone anywhere. She had just gone silent. Not intentionally, not from apathy, but from exhaustion. When she finally gave herself permission to rest, to ask for protection instead of trying to earn it, the signs started coming back. It wasn't about doing more. It was about finally letting herself receive. Why you don't need to be more spiritual to feel protected. Maybe you've told yourself, "I need to pray harder. I need to meditate longer. I need to fix my energy before I can connect." But Michael doesn't require perfection. He responds to presence. To the moment you pause and whisper, "Help." To the moment you get honest and say, "I can't do this alone." You don't have to be more spiritual to be protected. You just have to come home to yourself. Because the version of you who's exhausted, that's the version he's protecting. The subtle sacred signs Archangel Michael is near. You may not realize it, but you've already been encountering Archangel Michael many times. His presence isn't always grand or glowing. It often slips in quietly, humbly, in a way that meets you exactly where you are, even when you don't realize you're being held. So let's gently uncover what you've likely seen, but maybe didn't recognize for what it truly was. 1. The unexpected surge of strength. You're at your limit, emotionally drained, spiritually flat, physically tired. You're holding back tears in the car, whispering to heaven, "Please just get me through this day." And then, something shifts. Maybe you feel your spine straighten. Maybe you take a breath that feels deeper than you thought you could. Maybe you find yourself doing the next thing, making the call, taking the step, comforting someone else. It's not that your situation changed, it's that something inside you woke up. That's not adrenaline, that's Michael. He doesn't always take away the burden, but he strengthens you beneath it. 2. The repeated symbol or color. Michael is often associated with the color deep blue, cobalt, navy, or even electric blue. Swords or shields, symbols of spiritual protection. Feathers, especially strong, bold ones. The number 111 or 911, signs of divine alignment and angelic intervention. Have you been seeing flashes of blue in your dreams or when you meditate? Does it seem like swords are following you as you notice them on TV or clothing? Coming across 911 or 111 on license plates, receipts, clocks? That's not your imagination. That's Michael gently saying, "You're not alone. I'm here." Number 3, the urge to cleanse or set boundaries. Have you ever stopped short as you suddenly feel the need to smudge your space with sage or incense? You are suddenly compelled to clean your room and throw out old clutter? Say no without guilt to something draining you? Leave a room or conversation and you don't know why. Michael is the great energetic protector. When he steps in, he often begins by helping you clear space, physically and spiritually, so you can breathe again. Even if you don't hear a message, that sudden desire to cleanse or disconnect is a whisper of divine protection guiding your nervous system back to peace. 4. The calm you can't explain. There's chaos around you. The world seemed to be going crazy by the minute, conflict at every corner, bad news, things going wrong, and yet, something in you feels strangely steady. You should be panicking, but you're not. That groundedness, that mysterious calm, that's Michael wrapping your energy in a spiritual shield. It's what allows you to move through the storm without being consumed by it. You weren't ignoring the problem. You were being protected within it. 5. The voice that sounds like your own, but isn't. Michael doesn't often shout from the sky. He speaks through you, that sudden voice in your mind that says, "Wait, don't answer that call. You're stronger than this. Get up. You've got this." It might sound like your own thoughts, but when it arrives with peace and certainty, when it cuts through fear like light through fog, that's not your anxiety. That's not your ego. That's Michael. A real story. The whisper at the door. One woman shared this story. She was about to meet with someone she'd been in a complicated relationship with, the kind that drains your spirit but keeps pulling you back in. As she stood at the door, hand on the knob, she felt it. A whisper, not in her ears but in her chest. "Don't go in. Not this time." Her hand shook. Her body froze. She turned and walked away, and later learned the person she was meeting had been in a volatile mood. Things could have gone badly. "I didn't hear a voice," she said, "but something in me just knew." That knowing was not hers alone. It was divine protection in disguise. You've seen the signs before. Now you'll know what they mean. You've felt things, seen things, noticed moments of strange peace. You weren't making them up. You weren't imagining comfort where there was none. You were encountering Michael's presence. He has been guiding you, protecting you, whispering strength into your weariness. And now that you know the signs, you'll begin to notice them more often. They won't just be moments. They'll become anchors. Reminders that you are not walking this alone. Why protection alone isn't enough, and what you're missing. Protection is sacred, but protection alone is not the goal. You weren't made to merely survive spiritual attacks. You were made to rise into love, purpose, prosperity, and power. And yet, despite the signs, the prayers, the effort, you may still feel like something isn't breaking through. You want change. You want clarity. You want to feel free, financially, emotionally, spiritually. But it's like there's this invisible wall between you and the life you're meant for. Here's what that wall really is. Energetic interference. How unseen forces hold you back even when you're trying so hard. This isn't about demons or curses. It's about frequencies. When you've lived through pain, when you've absorbed others' emotions, when you've been hurt, neglected, or spiritually dismissed, your energy field, your receptive space, can get clouded. And that cloud doesn't just dull your sense of protection, it dulls your sense of direction. So even when you're being guided, you can't hear it. Even when a breakthrough is trying to reach you, it gets muffled, blocked, lost in spiritual static. You feel tired, confused, unsure, like you're missing the moment. That's not a flaw. That's a spiritual leak. Real story. The woman who couldn't manifest anything. She had all the vision boards. She lit the candles. She said the affirmations. She did everything she could to attract more abundance and healing. But nothing was shifting. One day, she was meditating and felt overwhelmed with shame. Not over anything new, just this deep-rooted belief that she wasn't pure enough to be chosen by the divine. She didn't realize that the blockage wasn't effort. It was unworthiness. A voice rose inside her, not hers. "You are worthy. You are mine, and I will protect what belongs to heaven." She wept, not because she was sad, but because for the first time in years she felt safe enough to receive. You can't manifest miracles from a place of survival. You don't need more hustle. You don't need more rituals. You don't need more spiritual to-do lists. You need to feel safe enough to receive what heaven is already trying to give. Because when your energy is unguarded, fear creeps in. Doubt takes over. Old wounds whisper you don't deserve this, and your manifestations collapse under the weight of resistance. But when you're shielded, your clarity sharpens. Your purpose speaks louder. Your desires magnetize to you. You become a clear vessel for divine guidance and support. This is where Michael's mission becomes clear. Michael doesn't just protect you from harm. He protects your destiny. He stands between you and what was never meant to claim you. And in that protection, he clears the way so your energy can rise, your path can open, and your next step can become undeniable. But it's not enough to feel his presence once and move on. You need to live inside that frequency. You need to stay connected to his whispers, his direction, his power. And that's where the journey begins, the sacred path to living inside Archangel Michael's protection. By now, your heart knows. You've felt Michael near. You've received his help in quiet, life-saving moments. But there's a difference between feeling protected once and living your life fully shielded, guided, and empowered by that protection. One is survival, the other is sovereignty, and you are being called into sovereignty now. Because the truth is, your angels don't just want you safe, they want you free. Free to speak your truth without fear of judgment, free to take that next step toward your purpose without paralyzing self-doubt, free to call in the wealth, love, healing, and direction that's been waiting for you. Michael is ready. The guidance is already here. Now you simply need to tune into it consistently. That's why this was created for you, a sacred tool for those who are ready to rise. There is a divinely channeled experience crafted through deep spiritual alignment with Archangel Michael himself, a tool that does what no scattered journal, meditative guesswork, or one-time sign can do. It anchors you in daily energetic protection. It clears low vibration interference from your aura. It guides you through the specific signs Michael is sending you, so you can finally understand what they mean. It helps you hear divine whispers and spiritual direction with clarity and confidence. It empowers you to set boundaries, walk in peace, and magnetize divine blessings without fear of sabotage or setbacks. This isn't a product, it's a portal, a sacred container to hold you, protect you, strengthen you, and return your energy back to the divine blueprint it was always meant to follow. If you've been feeling spiritually drained, this is your reset. Imagine this: waking up and immediately feeling a sense of calm in your chest, moving through your day with clarity, knowing when to say yes and when to say no, no longer questioning every intuitive nudge, because you can feel the difference between fear and divine guidance. Feeling your energy protected when you walk into crowded rooms, conversations, or uncertain moments. Receiving guidance without overthinking or second-guessing. That's what this sacred experience offers. It's your spiritual armor, your divine directive, your celestial alignment, and it's here right now, ready to be received. Take the step, walk in protection, rise with power. Click the link in the description or in the pinned comment so you can finally step into divine protection and receive Archangel Michael's daily guidance. This is the key that will help you clear away the energetic clutter, strengthen your intuitive channel, feel safe again, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. Finally, move forward in life with confidence, peace, and purpose. You don't have to walk this alone anymore. Let Michael lead. Let heaven guide. Let yourself receive what you were never meant to earn. Only embrace. If this spoke to your soul, if you've been feeling the pull towards something deeper, more protected, more aligned, leave a comment below and simply say, "I receive Michael's protection." Let it be your soul's confirmation. You are not walking through this life unguarded. You are not meant to carry this alone. You are not too late for your breakthrough. This is the moment where the battle ends and your blessing begins.